Hey, what's going on? So, do you want to learn how to use your CNC on non-flat surfaces? Well, then stick around because that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. Okay, this is difficult. All right, so I live in central Kentucky, which is the heart of bourbon country. And a particular type of project that I've kind of become known for in this area is working with bourbon barrel staves, kind of like this. But the problem is they're not flat. So I've got to use some simple tips and tricks to be able to engrave or cut on my CNC with this non-flat surface to create things like this. So let's jump right in. Okay, so to begin with, we have to design our curved surface in some type of 3D design software. Fusion 360 is an excellent version if you have. I've got Tinkercad open right here. Tinkercad is great for beginners because you can choose basic shapes and just kind of customize it the way you want. And it's also free and it's web-based, so you don't have to install anything on your computer. But that said, once you decide on your software, you just have to decide whatever surface it is that you want. And I'm not even going to go through the process of showing you how to design a curved surface because you might want to use this for any variety of different types of projects, not just a bourbon barrel stave. So just keep in mind that you have to design that 3D surface and then render it. Now, once you're done with that, you're actually going to import it into your CNC software of choice. I'm using Vectric, so let's take a look right there. Okay, to begin with, I've got a very simple little shape right here, and I'm going to export that shape. I'm going to export it as an STL file, which is what we'll need. So you'll notice that it has been exported. And then to import it, I'm just simply going to go to VCarve Pro and go to File, Import, Component 3D Model. Okay, now it'll ask you a couple of things. It'll ask you to place it and size it and all that stuff. I'm not going to worry about all that right now, but I can position and import it, and then boom, there you go. So that's the process of importing your 3D model once you have created it. All right, so I'm not going to save this one. Now I'm going to jump right into the actual curved version that I already have. So if I go to 3D view, you'll see I have my curved surface right here. So this is the one that I actually created. All right, now how do you actually get your text to wrap to that curve or to that angle? Let's go into our material setup right here. And you'll notice I've already got a VCarve set. I'm gonna right click and edit that just because I already have it done. All that you have to do is once you have your 3D model imported into the project, come down here when you're doing your VCarve or whichever type of cut you're doing, and you notice this option that says project toolpath onto 3D model. And turn that on, and then all you do is simply calculate it. And then guess what? Once we preview, it actually works. Now, the preview model doesn't show up properly, but when you actually run it, it will work. All right, so now that we know how to create that simple 3D model and we know how to wrap our toolpath to that model, let's go to the CNC and let's cut it out, because you're gonna see that we run into some problems just because of the very nature of the type of material that we're using. Now I am gonna have this particular stave model for sale on my website. I'll put a link down in the description. So now, if we want to work with a bourbon barrel stave, first thing we need to do is clean it up a little bit. Now I'm just gonna run through this process quickly. We're not gonna spend a lot of time here, but these are old and dusty, so I'm gonna clean them off. Now next we're gonna use some 120 grit sandpaper and we're gonna clean these up a little bit. I don't wanna get everything off of it because the appeal of bourbon barrel decor is that they look like and resemble bourbon barrels. So I'm just gonna clean them up and get rid of the rough edges and kind of give them a little bit more of a uniform coloring so that the engravings will stand out. And once we have the front side cleaned up a little bit, now here comes the fun part, and that's cleaning off the char on the back. If you don't know anything about bourbon and bourbon barrel staves, bourbon is aged in white oak barrels, and the inside of that barrel is charred. When the bourbon goes into the barrel, it's actually clear, looking more like a vodka. But as it ages in the bourbon barrels, that char gives it its brown color. Now, we don't want to get rid of all that. We want to keep it because that's the whole point of bourbon barrel decor is they look like bourbon barrels. But I am going to scrape off as much of the char as I can and then sand it down to make it flat, just so it's clean and people aren't getting black all over the fingers every time they handle it. And once it's cleaned, we are going to use just a little bit of Zinsser shellac to seal that back side there because we don't want to have any residual char or soot that can get over my customer's hands. Also, make sure you pour that shellac out into a separate container because it will turn black very quickly. And you don't want to waste an entire can of shellac because you accidentally got bourbon barrel soot in it. This would be a good time to remind you that if you're enjoying this type of content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and maybe leave a comment. That's an easy way to support this channel and it doesn't cost you a thing. And if you're interested in supporting the channel even more, you can always become a member right down there below. Got some free perks for members, as well as you can go to my website and find all kinds of awesome projects that you can download and create yourself. Now, these staves can be difficult to work with because not only are they arced, they're also not flat. They tend to wobble. So you need to get them as flat as you can. Looks like it's flatter right here. So I'm going to put this side down first. Get that set. And because a V-bit engraving really doesn't cause a lot of trauma or jarring to the wood itself, I'm going to leave this one a little bit looser. But that should be in good shape right there. All right, for this one, I'm going to be using a 60-degree V-bit. I got this one from Cutting It Close. I'll put a link down in the description if you need to pick any up. And when I'm doing my X, Y, and Z probe, I'm actually going to set this one to be on the center of the arc. This is different. Most of the time, I would have my X and Y axis in the bottom left-hand corner, but I'm not going to do that here because it's on that curve. I'm going to put the X and Y right up there on the top. Don't forget to go into your software. I use VCarve Pro and set your X and Y orientation to be centered instead of in the bottom left corner, which is typical. Now, finding the actual highest point can be a bit of a challenge, but it looks like that pretty much hit it right there. So I'm going to set my X and Y, and then I'll use my probe to set my Z, which is what I typically like to do. And so we should be good. From there, we will load the file. And give it a shot. All right, so now is where we're going to run into some problems. And they're not problems that we can't overcome. But here's the thing about working with a material like a bourbon barrel stave. No two bourbon barrel staves are exactly alike. Bourbon barrels are created, they're filled with this liquid, and then they're aged in rick houses for 2, 4, 10 years, and then they're emptied and then they're discarded. So every bourbon barrel is going to be a little bit different because they're going to expand and contract in the summer, in the winter, and they go back and forth and back and forth. So that very warping means that every bourbon barrel is going to have a slightly different curve, and we're not going to get uniform results every time. So we may have to go back and redo small parts of it. That's just the nature of the type of woodworking that we're creating. All right, so you can see that this one got really, really close. But if you look carefully over here, that S and a little bit of the O is just a little bit too shallow for me. So what I'm going to do is just reset my Z axis to be about 0.02 inches lower, and then I'm going to recut just the O and the S. Now, this will require you to go back into your VCarve Pro software and create a separate model. And of course, when you're pricing these, you would figure that extra work into the pricing. I typically charge $75 a piece for these, and they sell like hotcakes. They're customized, they're personal, they're things that you can't get everywhere, and they're very popular. All right, now that we're finished, we are going to finalize the engraving. Now, what I like to do with these is I'll use another coat of shellac on here to seal them up so that I don't get any paint bleed. And then once everything is sealed and dried, I'll go back with some black acrylic paint and just fill in the lettering. All right, now that the shellac is dry, and one reason I like to use shellac is because it's incredibly fast drying, dries in as little as 10 minutes. But once I have the shellac dry, I'm going to use some simple acrylic paint and sponge brushes that I found at Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to fill in that entire engraving. And once that dries, there is a nice layer of shellac between the wood and the paint. So I'll just simply sand everything off. And what will be left will be our engraving, and it's going to look beautiful. Now, we're almost done. I'm just going to use a couple of coats of shellac on the front and then also on the top, bottom, and sides to seal everything up. Bourbon barrel staves are notoriously dirty, so there's nothing wrong with using some shellac or lacquer to seal everything up. I'll use 3 coats of shellac, and then they're ready to go. And once everything dries, they are ready to go. June is wedding season, and these are all 3 wedding gifts for some of my customers. And since you're still here, I hope you really enjoyed this, and click on this video right here, which is going to show you some of my favorite and most profitable CNC projects ever.